Okay, with the creative team of Hey You, we have NickyJoe Perez, who is the director writer, and we have Karina. Sorry, yeah, Karina. And how do I pronounce your last name, Karina?
Karina Kuchumov.
Kuchumov. What is
Kuchumov.
that? What's the background?
It's Russian.
Russian. Okay. So,
Yep.
and NickyJoe Perez. What are where are you from?
Uh, Puerto Rico.
What's wrong with that? It's awesome. Yeah,
No, yeah,
it's so funny because it's the one. It's technically you're American, but for some reason Americans don't know that. How come?
how come? Oh boy, I think we need I know the reason, in my opinion.
What's the main reason?
Well, the main reason is because it's not taught really
Yeah.
as part of American history. And if it is, it's just by passing because again, it's just one point in time in American history.
Yeah.
But to me, it's all history, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's the real reason why it got some notice.
No, because we're doing this podcast in the middle of March 2026, and like a month ago, a Puerto Rican representing America was the main host of the Super Bowl halftime show, and for some reason that became a an issue. And as a Canadian, I never under we have sometimes we look down and we go like, why are they making this such an issue? It doesn't make any sense. But then it becomes a racial kind of bigotry issue, a language culture. It's just ridiculous because they know that Puerto Ricans are American, right? So
Yeah, yes, it ever since 1916.
yeah. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean
And
to. I just wanted to. I'm just like I just was curious what your point of view is.
since 1960, we've been citizens directly,
Yeah.
and we're here to stay. I think that was the big debacle
Yeah.
with the Super Bowl,
Exactly.
which we're alluding to.
All right. So let's talk about Hey You because it does kind of tie into that cultural kind of reference. There basically in its simple sense your character, your main character, who Karina plays, is has to make a choice. But you're also making it's also funny how you made Chicago kind of a character in the film too. You really showed the city of Chicago as a character in the film as well.
Yeah, that is true. We live in Chicago, so basically, I wanted to make a story about a young woman in Chicago.
Yeah.
And to quote one of the actual actors in the movie, it's an ode to all professional transplants in Chicago. Because if you're here, it's its own animal, it's its own beast, it's its own entity, and I just wanted to include it somehow to pay homage to that.
Yeah. Okay, so then you wrote the screenplay. What kind of motivated you to write this female driven story?
Yes, female-driven story. So I always wanted to make a film in which the protagonist was a woman, be it a short or feature film. So I started thinking of all those strong-willed women that I knew in my life, their traits, their characteristics, and personalities. And I wanted to make a story about a young woman in Chicago, and adding all that up, um, I believe that Karina exhibited a lot of the qualities I was looking for in the protagonist. So that's why I asked, and she gladly said yes.
So,
Yep.
so Karina, where did you meet? How did you meet Nikki for the first time?
We actually met a couple of years ago back when we were both taking improv classes at Second City.
Yeah,
So that kind of started off our friendship, and then we were in a like sketch group together, and so now just
two.
in a couple of them actually, and so I guess just a lot of creative processes together.
Yeah.
So
And then but you're also a performer, Nikki?
By performer, you mean on stage?
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
No, are you like you're also a performer then? Like you're not just a director?
Um, I would say that as part of the Second City program, you build up to performing for a full month in grad review. So, into in that regard, yes, I was a performer, and not currently, but we were performing with one of the groups we were a couple of years back. It's the Chicago performance scene, quote unquote, very lively, and we love it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You're also in the film too, right? You have a makeup, yeah.
Yes, so I love all mediums, of course, but the one that's more akin to me is film.
All right. So Karina, when did you first read the script?
Yeah, when did you read the script?
When did I first read the script?
Did you read the script?
Yes, no, of course I did. Um, yeah, I don't exactly remember the exact moment, but I think NickyJoe had kind of floated the idea past me before, I guess, before he had fully fleshed it out, kind of as he had mentioned earlier, just the inspiration behind it, wanting to make like a movie about a young woman in Chicago and asked if I would be interested, and I definitely was. And then reading the script, I think it was kind of interesting to see like his take on it, but then also seeing how much of my like real experience was reflected within the character and some of her thoughts throughout the day as well. So it was really cool. And then I think being part of just like seeing the script, but then seeing the finished product was also really cool. I haven't done a lot of film work, so it was really interesting to see it like actually come to life from just what it was on paper to how it is on the screen.
Yeah, that's actually cool.
So Nikki, Joe, what are you trying to say in the film? Like what thematically, what's the film about?
Uh, what is the film about?
Hmm.
Um, it's essentially is very direct. A young woman in Chicago needs to make a decision throughout
Yeah.
the day. That's essentially what it was. I wanted the opportunity to work with Karina, um, in this realm, film. Um, I wrote the script originally, and when she said yes, I like tailor it more to be like Aiken on how she would like maybe approach the situation. Because one of the big takeaways I got from Second City was that 99% you is not you when it comes to acting. So I wanted to capture that and make her feel comfortable when portraying this character. If that makes any sense.
So Karina, what is he trying to say? What's the film about to you? What's the film about for your character?
Yeah, I think just facing such a big decision, and also kind of as you mentioned earlier with the city of Chicago kind of being its own character as well, kind of that weighing on the weight of the decision, like do I leave the city, do I take someone with me, like do I consider a partner in this decision, and just kind of seeing, oh, I have so much of a life here, so many experiences, but then there's just so much more that can still broadly be explored. So I think to me it was a little bit of both, of like kind of showing a snapshot of life in the city and just considering how much of a big decision it could be to start over from a completely new spot, when you already have such a good place that you're coming from.
Yeah, that's actually, thank you. I got your answer. So the story is about agency. Karina's character, to me, she always had agency, but to the audience, it wasn't clear. But my hope is at the end of the short film, you can see that whatever decision she decides, either to leave, to stay, either to like who's that person who opened the door at the end, it's her decision. She's empowered to do what she wants because she has agency.
Yeah.
And that was the main takeaway for me. Like, and that's what it's about. Like, I want people to feel that, like we were saying, like one of the big themes is like, this is just drawn from my experience. Like a lot of my life experiences that I made accomplishments. I have to um how you say this? I had to enjoy them or celebrate it by my own. So I wanted to tackle that topic about basic. What was I saying? I want to tackle that topic of basically. I went blank. Or basically celebrating your achievements
Yeah.
alone versus maybe doing it with other people.
You don't need somebody else in your life if you love
Yeah,
it.
because you need to those moments.
Yeah.
It's good to share with someone, whoever it is.
Yeah.
But that's just my take.
Yeah, no, it's interesting because, like I said, you make something interesting. Like you just said that you like a lot of things that you've achieved or you've like been around is like you've been by yourself, I guess. Is that what you said? Like in like
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's that there's something strong about that, where a lot of people make decisions based on loneliness or insecurity and fears of being alone or whatever, and they don't make these hard decisions, and then it's about this character kind of just doing what she wants to do, not what someone else wants to do.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. And so who's at the door at the end?
Was that well, who do you think is at the end?
Yeah.
This is a
I don't know if
debatable topic.
it's the guy on the street, which is your character, I should say. It's a little bit creepy, right? Because he's kind of stalking her, but and then she's
Because he
happy to
wanted
see.
a visa, that's why he's a creep.
Yeah. No. I'm not saying
He knows
he's a
where she
creep. I'm
lives.
saying it's
Yeah.
creepy that he would stalk her to her house, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you thought it was him, maybe.
No, I didn't. I did. Maybe it was somebody that we don't know, right? Just like, but I guess the point is it doesn't matter, right?
Hmm.
The point is whoever you want it to be. I know who it is.
Okay, so who is it then?
Uh,
You don't want to say?
well, no, yeah, well, let's it's her first. Who do you think it is?
Who do I think it is? I mean, I don't know if I want to reveal the secrets like that.
You can say that you also know because you do know.
And I feel like it has to be, right, the person who's been top of mind the whole day. Like, is it the person that we've been
Yeah.
waiting to text back to kind of
Yeah.
considering this decision? And hopefully that's finally him at the door.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So let's just say this, like this is someone is texting you throughout the day, right? One. Two, the first date, not good.
Yeah.
The second date, you bail. The guy you meet on the streets. This is the important part. So you say that it's 8 p.m., right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
She says it's 8 p.m. and then my character and her character meet. And then when she's at her apartment, I make a shot purposely, not easily to see, but it's like 8:16.
A little later.
So nothing happened in 16 minutes. Or
Or
did it?
maybe something did happen.
It did happen.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
those are the little trinkets because again, it shows that it's all about she being empowered to make the decision and the audience decides what the story is. Like because everyone has their own experience and everyone wants to see this person, their person. That's why it's an open ending, but with some direction, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I got a weird segue for you. At the beginning of the film, you kind of have the Chicago kind of city, and you have Chicago hustles harder. You're at the White Sox stadium and the Cubs stadium, right? You're both.
Yeah, so good eye. A couple of people said like, "Why are you repeating a baseball game?" I'm like,
No, but
"I'm
it's two
not."
different. But people like you're at two different stadia. You're at the south side and you're the north side, right? So
Yes, I was in Guaranteed Rate Field and then Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
yeah,
So good eye. You saw that.
I'm just like a baseball nerd, so I would know, right? But yeah,
There you go. Yes, but because it's Chicago, so you need to include both. And part of me was like, maybe I should just put this is White Sox, this is
The
Cubs,
Cubs.
just to make sure. But I don't need to because you saw it.
but did you take that shot? Did you take both of those shots?
So that opening sequence, yeah, that's all from my phone.
Okay.
Throughout my 5 years here in Chicago, which actually one of the things that I got is that maybe I should have like maybe put like an extra filter in all those pictures,
Yeah.
so a little bit more oomph. But I still like it. Like that sequence to me is like it sets the tone
Yeah.
to like you said, Chicago is the character, and then we got her character, you know, in the sea known as Chicago to make
Yeah.
decisions.
Hmm.
And she's like, yeah, why leave? Why leave though, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to leave.
yeah. You both, yeah, I'm assuming you're both transplants. You're both not from originally from Chicago.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I grew up in the Midwest in Michigan, but definitely love it here. And I feel like me personally, definitely not trying to leave anytime soon.
Gotcha. All right. So what's so you wrote this script? Is there a bigger story here, or is it just a standalone short? You have like a is there a is there like a TV show or a feature version of it?
Well, yeah, I have a lot of stories to tell,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Um, and I think I'm at the point in life that I'm mature enough to know which ones to tell. And also if I start a new one and people say that's not really good, I don't take it personally. So to your question, originally the script was written for the protagonist to be like in her early 30s, which supposedly, quote unquote, you're supposed to have like your shit together.
Hmm.
But I don't know if you can say that. Beat
Yeah.
me if not. Your stuff together. Um, but then when she said yes, I said maybe I'm just gonna do it like in somewhere in her mid-20s with who knows, maybe we can see a sequel of her a couple years down the line. That's why there's one scene which we titled Inspirational Woman. Um, that is her looking at this woman that she saw when she was strutting around Chicago, because to me it was like hinting maybe we can see her in the future being that person. Um, so that's so the answer is like, could there be a sequel? Maybe.
And so for you, Karina, are you just like acting? You're just going on auditions. You're just trying to be like, what's your plan?
Um, that's a great question. I feel like initially, this whole creative journey started out when I moved to Chicago and just wanted to try something new, something interesting, and meet new people, make friends. For
Yeah.
me, it wasn't kind of the driving force of like acting, but I have really enjoyed it, and I think being in this film kind of re-sparked that that interest and that energy. So I think I definitely want to get more involved in that. Like I'm not as much at this point in auditions and things like that, but hopefully can get involved in some more film work in the future.
Gotcha. So you think you guys will work together again sometime soon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. If NickyJoe casts me again.
I'd
Yeah,
love to.
yeah. One thing that I like about her is like she's trusting and with my direction, and you know she's trusting with my direction, and she not opinionated, and she brings what I want and some more. So that's it's a good dynamic that I really cherish and hope to replicate.
Yeah, and just a lot of fun working together for sure.
Great. Well, I wish you guys the best of success with this film, and why don't we talk again when you guys make your next film, either together or separated.
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.